like to feel your body lying close to mine. Say you will make love once more. I like to love one more time, girl. I like to feel your body lying close to mine. Say you will make love once more. I like to. Oh.
Yeah, Mike, kick 1, 2.
I'll stay right there until the cows come home. Just work on me, baby, until I'm weak in my knees. Nibble on me, baby, just like a rat does cheese. The things you do, it's a doggone shame. It's a doggone shame. Don't you know into my brain? I'm hard as a brick. Girl, you can have all of my cheat codes. I'll be your pacifier. Your pacifier. Girl, I won't deny ya. Girl, I won't deny ya. I'll be your pacifier. Your pacifier. Girl, I won't deny ya. Girl, I won't deny ya.
Yeah. That's some old down south Mississippi Delta blues type of music. What it do, people? It's your boy Chaos Theory, and it's Just Our Opinion podcast. Saturday night, you already know, broadcasting live and direct out of Altmore, Oklahoma. Uh, trying to get everything situated because I'm just getting parked for the night. Yeah, getting everything situated. Oh man, what a day! It's always a day for me. Every day is a holiday for me. You know what I'm saying? Good and bad. You know, especially being a truck driver, being out here on the road. You know, doing all type of stuff, driving for myself and others out here because it seems like a lot of us got license but still can't drive. So you know how that is. But at the same time, always making my duty to make sure I watch out for those and make sure they watch out for me. You know what I'm saying? Because America, y'all on a rough terrain when it comes down to going down these highways and byways, especially in these cities. Because I already know a lot of y'all had this I don't give a damn complex mindset. And it's really ridiculous. But hey, it is what it is. But anyway, man, tonight's topic is going to pretty much be a ooh, 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 damn, what the fuck was going on? How the hell that happened? Oh my God, type of topic. Racist, or black racist stereotypes in America. Are they still around? Of course they are. Do we know what racist stereotypes are? Do we know what black racist stereotypes are? Well, back in the days, racist Caucasian people that basically ran this country, you know what I'm saying, had an epiphany of ways of basically making us keeping down way below their level of life by basically causing, ruckish. I mean, they already was kicking our ass, you know what I'm saying, physically. But they said, now we're going to start kicking your ass mentally. So they used to always come out with different names for black people. But, that was their way to basically stay so called dominant in society. And they got so good, felt like they got so good at calling us different types of names and out of our names and things like of that nature. Uh, it made a real big stank on us because let me see if I can look up the definition of the word stereotype. But that's what I should have did first. Stereotype. It says stereotype, a widely held but fixed and over simple what is this? Over simply imaged an ideal of a particular type of person or thing. A relief printing play cast in mold made from composed types. This is some old shit right here. That's, what I guess is basically specifying that, you know what I'm saying, calling you something that you're really not, but in their eyesight they see you as, you know what I'm saying. I mean, for certain stereotypes they would talk about black people calling us porch monkeys because we used to sit on the porch of our shacks or whatever the case may be back in the days, eating watermelon and stuff like that, and just having a good time, pretty much trying to get through the trials and tribulations of hard knock life in the old South or in America, period. But they took a lot of stereotypes and they started using products. You know what I'm saying? They had soap, they had matches, they had everything that they could sell, and they had a funny picture of a black person on it from grown people to babies. You know what I'm saying? You know, let's see, I'm trying to find a picture now. Even to cartoons and movies and stuff. You know, it went deep. You know, I mean, like this picture here of Jim Crow. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine that Jim Crow. This was the Walt Disney character, and this is how they basically pictured us. You know, back in those days, and it was real crazy, and it was very naive of them doing that. But they basically didn't just do black people; they did Indians, they did Mexicans, they did Oriental, Japanese, and Chinese, or whatever the case may be. Because you watch cartoons from back in the days, like Bugs Bunny and Tom and Jerry, and there's a whole lot of cartoons that were basically, filmed way back in the 30s and 40s. They basically made, stereotypical characters that pretty much dissed our, way of life, you know what I'm saying? And they got rid of a lot of that stuff now because, the NAACP and shit like that basically tore down all these stereotypes. But, even when I was a child, what I'm saying, back in the days, I used to watch Tom and Jerry. They used to show old Tom and Jerry cartoons. And when they would show those cartoons, they would have a woman, a heavyset black woman, you know what I'm saying, on there. But you wouldn't see her face, you would just see her head. You know what I'm saying? But you'll see her head. And she be Thomas. She be chasing behind Tom the cat. You know what I'm saying? While Tom chasing behind the mouse. But, even this woman here is the woman that basically was the first ancient mama. I know y'all probably know that they took her picture off the syrup bottle. Matter of fact, I still got a syrup bottle with her picture on it, and it was like the last one before they changed it over. If y'all can see it on the screen, you know what I'm saying. I still got the bottle, but they didn't basically call it now some kind of meals company now, but they changed it up because the stereotype. But my thing is, not to be funny, if that's not gonna make America better by taking these stereotypes and throwing it in the garbage, because the stereotypes are still here. They're still here, and they're gonna always be here forever. Because one thing about America capitalized off of racism. And one thing you have to understand, that regardless if they get rid of these stereotypes, because I mean, they had her and they had Uncle Ben and the Cream of Wheat Man and all that stuff. It really marked America on being what America really is in society when it comes down to black and brown people, as well as the yellow man and the red man. You know what I'm saying? Because they always depict us to be everything but human. And these pictures here, these imagery right here, are a product of how they looked at us. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times you'll see pictures of the, back in the days like that, where they showing young men and women, young and old, eating watermelon because it was a treat. And it started getting to the point where they was making fun of us eating watermelon. I mean, some rich Caucasians or even poor Caucasians will say little watermelon jokes. But in reality, they love watermelon just as well as we do. But the fact was that was pretty much a treat for us because we were eating unhealthy shit. But when they felt like, I guess around holidays or certain days when they are working hard in the field and they've been done pretty good, they will always bring, us, our ancestors, watermelon. And they made jokes about it, you know what I'm saying? Because we got excited because it tasted good, even though, because a watermelon at that time then, you know what I'm saying, versus the watermelon now, because you got this seedless shit, and that ain't real watermelon to me. Anything that don't have a seed in is pretty much GMO. It's not real. But the watermelons back in the days, and the organic watermelons, if you can find them around here, them are the original healthy watermelons. That's the ones that it has all type of, I think, antioxidants and alkaline, and that's the thing that basically keeps us energized. Anything with alkaline in it is very healthy. But they try to make us hate eating watermelon because that was just the thing. They say, "Oh, you niggers and Negroes, I like watermelon, chicken, and ribs." that was our our delightful food additives back in the days. That's all they used to say and it basically became a stereotype throughout society. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the first thing you think. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Damn. You automatically know a white person when they see us, they're like, "You like watermelon? You like chicken?" And then you'll get mad, like, "What the fuck that's supposed to mean?" You're like, "No, it's not. I'm not being racist. I just saying because I like watermelon and chicken." Because we done heard it so many times. You know what I'm saying? You see it on TV shows and movies and stuff. They depict our way of life on things that we ate. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be funny. But anyway, my brother Dark Prince supposed to come in a minute, but it's a video that I want to show you guys. You know what I'm saying? About stereotypes. I was kind of trying to wait on him to come on in here. He's a little late. And he's probably chopping it up with his mom. But it's a video that I want to show on stereotypes. Because stereotypes, believe it or not, are still in existence today. They just it's just a little bit different than how it was back then, because they pretty much know, we're educated enough to know when we're talked about and when we're not talked about. Some of us anyway. You know what I'm saying? If y'all watch my Grown Men podcast Wednesday, me and Dark Prince was talking about the rapper Glorilla from Memphis. Now her name is Glorilla. Now think about that, Glorilla. That shit is about an inch to be about to call a girl Gorilla. But her name is Glorilla. Glorilla. But if you say it real fast, it sounds like gorilla. And y'all know a gorilla is an animal. A very aggressive animal at that. And believe it or not, Europeans back in the days used to call black women gorillas. Boy, a lot of times, like I say, it's crazy because we don't be understanding the stereotypes. We don't understand the stereotypes that they put out here to us. And we go and make fun of it. It's just like, the movie Jeffrey Dahmer's documentary or movie or whatever on Netflix, how they basically depicted this white man who was just basically eating black men like shit, like it was a delicacy. You know what I'm saying? Even though I believe he was basically a government, you know what I'm saying, prototype of MK Ultra minded man, Caucasian man, basically put over there to do that crazy shit. Because he kind of looked at like he was monotone. And when you see a lot of people that just like that and just move, that motherfucker there is up under some kind of hypnosis. Because he was very, I mean, a lot of like you can say, a lot of people say, yeah, he was weird. He was very weird. He was crazy. He was doing stuff, but you don't really know why he was like he was. Even though the media try to make all type of excuses about the dude, saying the guy was, he had a bad childhood and all this old bullshit, and it's like trying to hear that. It's bigger. It's a bigger picture than that. It ain't got nothing to do with this man's childhood. Nothing. You don't know who these motherfuckers be, bringing in, what I'm saying, in our communities. Because, like I say, if you watch Manchurian Candidate, it's a movie. You can see how they basically show you how they program human beings to do the craziest shit to other human beings. I mean, because a lot of times they don't be in their right mind. I mean, like you see yourself, you all happy. Hey, how's it going? Hey, how you doing? You just living. You got life. You full of life. But when you see a motherfucker just that motherfucker, something wrong with that motherfucker. Better be careful. You know what I'm saying? Because you be smiling up in their face. Hey, how you doing? He looking at you. That motherfucker, something wrong with that motherfucker. And leave him the fuck alone before he fuck around and snap, crackle, and pop. But yeah, but back to him, you know what I'm saying? I see a lot of this new generation was making jokes, when they seen, because that's their first time hearing about Jeffrey Dahmer. I think we should have been educated these young folks about who Jeffrey Dahmer was, or whatever the case may be. So that way they wouldn't have to be such an asshole and to try to make jokes about it. Because see, it seems like this generation now, they don't take nothing seriously. Everything's a goddamn joke. And it's working like a charm for the powers that be, because they love when we don't take nothing seriously in this society. They love it. They get a kick out of it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because there's nothing funny about this man basically storing bodies in these little tubs and full of acid and doing all this crazy ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all making jokes like, oh, I seen somebody look like him the other day and I was about to call the police. Oh. That shit was not funny. That shit is not funny. But like I say, it ain't funny until it's funny until it hit close to home. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing about it. That's why I say, about black racist stereotypes in America. We done got so destroyed as black people in this country to where we don't know how to we don't even know how to take each other seriously anymore. So if we don't take each other seriously, don't expect the police not to shoot you down the streets or a racist person come saying something crazy to you. Because it's obviously you don't give a fuck about your sense of Washington. Plain and simple as that. Bro, taking a bit of time. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and pull this video up. Let's see. He probably just had to catch it. Hope we'll catch a good piece of it. Let's see. Stereotypes. But this video was pretty interesting.
For most of my life, I've been caught in between who I really am.
All right. Get ready to share it.
For most of my life, I've been caught in between who I really am and how I'm perceived.
When the Oscars So White hashtag took off in 2015, it drew attention to a larger conversation around whose stories get told and recognized.
In 2016, the nominations came out, and again, there were no people of color in any of the NACDA categories.
But it's equally important to discuss how Black stories have been told.
The network does not want to see Negroes on television unless they are buffoons.
There's a long history of grotesque, racist caricatures depicting Black people as childlike, animalistic, or lazy.
There's a wild old man what don't do nothing but tell stories.
In order to justify slavery and the systemic mistreatment of Black people.
When you mock or belittle us, you enforce an existing system.
Versions of these caricatures carried over into our earliest blockbuster movies and remained popular on screen.
If you don't care what folks says about this family, I do.
In large part because while Black characters have always been a part of American films, Black filmmakers and sometimes even performers tended to be excluded from their creation. If we look closer, numerous anti-Black stereotypes persevere in some form to this day across our films, TV shows, and culture.
When Shonda Rhimes writes her autobiography, it should be called How to Get Away with Being an Angry Black Woman.
Here's our take on the history of Black stereotypes on screen, where they come from, and how they still influence our society today much more pervasively than you might think.
Cops everywhere staring down the barrel of a gun at a Black man don't see a human being. They see a caricature, a thug, a
If you're new here, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified about all of our new videos. This video is brought to you by Mubi, a curated streaming service showing exceptional films from around the globe. It's like your own personal film festival streaming anytime, anywhere. One major category of anti-Black stereotypes portrays Black people as contented, faithful servants.
My head's splitting. Well, lean back and let Lily rub the back of your neck.
Slavery's defenders used these depictions to argue that the institution couldn't be amoral because Black people enjoyed serving white families.
I don't know why we leaving Mouse's house. He been good to us.
Hardworking and loyal, the Mammy figure was painted as deeply devoted to her white family.
How am I going to take care of you and Miss Jessie if I ain't here? I's your cook and I want to stay your cook.
In The Birth of a Nation, D.W. Griffith's 1915 white supremacist film, which is largely credited for the 20th century resurgence of the KKK, the Mammy character, played by a white actor in blackface, defends her master's home from Union soldiers, suggesting that she's so committed to serving that she would risk her life rather than seek freedom. Proponents of slavery used the Mammy to suggest that, far from being abused, Black women were beloved and willing surrogate mothers to the families they served.
Master Carey's coming.
Praise the Lord.
But historians have found little evidence to substantiate the idea that enslaved Black women were even commonly working in the home, as the Mammy trope suggests.
Just hold on and suck in.
Due to the high price of slave labor, all but the wealthiest families generally limited their slaves to field work. Those slaves who were assigned to housework were likely to be light-skinned, skinny, and quite young, in contrast to the on-screen Mammy, who was almost exclusively portrayed as dark-skinned, older, and heavyset.
Who spends most of her time in the kitchen, but never seems to know what's cooking.
Aggressively desexualizing the Mammy helped to conceal the fact that many house slaves, especially women, were frequently sexually abused by their white masters. Nevertheless, the Mammy figure persisted on film and TV throughout the 20th century. In 1934's Imitation of Life, Louise Beaver's Delilah refuses her boss's offer to pay her for her pancake recipe, insisting that she would be happier to continue to work for and live with her.
My own house, You gonna send me away, Miss B? I can't live with you? Oh, honey child, please don't send me away.
In 1940, Hattie McDaniel became the first Black woman to win an Oscar for acting for her role as a character named Mammy in Gone with the Wind.
Oh, now, Miss Scarlett, you come on and be good and eat just a little.
Over the years, more films and shows have explored the problems and emotional plights of Black women who continued after the end of slavery to raise white children as domestic workers.
Well, someone has to look after those children.
Really? And where are your kids? Are they all doctors and lawyers?
But even modern films that are sympathetic to Black rights can still perpetuate aspects of the mammy trope in their characters. While the maids of the help are shown to be unhappy serving white families, they still come across as noble servants, mainly celebrated for their selflessness and kindness.
You is kind, you is smart, you is important.
Arguably, the modern trope of the Black best friend, too, can be seen as the partial descendant of the mammy, since this character's role is to constantly provide support and sometimes tough love to the white main character.
Sometimes I wonder what it'd be like to go to lunch with my friends and have them ask me about my problem.
The strong Black woman trope, which we've discussed in a separate video, also portrays Black women as using their apparently infinite strength primarily to help other, frequently white, characters. Celebrating Black women for their selflessness and service,
the minute you started working here, she started getting better.
Creates a bind where Black women feel they are not allowed to be selfish or need help themselves.
I think the superwoman syndrome is this suffering in silence.
The male version of the faithful servant caricature was the docile, pious, and extremely subservient Uncle Tom.
What does that mean? Feed the slaves.
I don't know what it means myself.
Ironically, this type originated from Harriet Beecher Stowe's extremely popular abolitionist novel, Uncle Tom's Cabin, in which the devout Tom nobly chooses to sacrifice his life rather than sell out other runaway slaves.
I have made up my mind that I'm going to kill you, unless you tell me what's happened to them.
But Stowe's abolitionist message was lost in popular pro-slavery minstrel stage adaptations of her novel, which morphed Uncle Tom into a degrading caricature so devoted to serving that he was more than willing to backstab other Black people.
Why did you cry?
You scared me.
Films also portrayed Uncle Tom characters as totally subservient.
Put that big smile back on your face.
Which one? This one?
In 1935's The Littlest Rebel, Bill Bojangles Robinson, who later became famous for playing Uncle Tom characters, plays an enslaved man who protects his Confederate master from persecution during the Civil War.
Is there a rebel hiding in this house? No, sir, Mas Jim. Nobody told, sir.
In movies like 1936's Showboat and 1943's Heaven Can Wait, Clarence Muse plays amiable Black servants to white families.
Boss, got good news for you. The captain is out. Ain't that fine? Now you can have a few more cakes.
Over the years, the Uncle Tom name evolved into a damning insult in the Black community, describing Black people who are subservient to white people at the expense of their own communities.
Only an Uncle Tom would do this. They just looking for somebody to sell out.
But films continued to feature descendants of this character who was happy to serve white people, treating the Tom as a so-called positive stereotype.
It was my fight.
No, it was my fight.
Celebrated Black actor Sidney Poitier played modern-day Toms in 1957's Edge of the City, where his character sacrifices his life to save a white man.
It's me you really want, isn't it?
And in A Patch of Blue, where his character befriends a blind white girl and helps her come into her own.
Just as I thought.
What?
Now you're a very pretty girl.
Pretty? Me?
In the 1989 Academy Award winner for Best Picture, Driving Miss Daisy, Morgan Freeman's Hope echoes the demeanor of the Toms of the past in his selfless service to Daisy.
On the trolley? Why didn't you let me carry you, Miss Daisy?
One enduring trope that partially descends from the Tom is the magical Negro, a Black character who possesses some special insight or magical seeming ability.
My grandmother and I could hold conversations entirely without ever opening our mouths. She called it shiny.
And who exists in the story solely to help the white protagonist on a journey of personal self-fulfillment.
Well, you lost your swing. We got to go find it.
The enduring popularity of these characters suggests that Black men remain most palatable to white audiences when they are submissive, selfless, and always affable.
Hey, you kids hungry?
And puts pressure on Black men to perform these qualities. Another historical legacy of Mammies and Toms is the enduring idea that Black people, and especially Black women, are only suited for domestic work.
Miss, another martini. Oh, hell no, I know she ain't talking to me.
Actually, she doesn't work here.
This conception, which severely limited Black women's upward mobility after slavery, is also reinforced by the many American brands that feature Mammies and Toms on their packaging, and who, after decades of criticism, have finally vowed to change their imaging. A second category of Black stereotypes were crafted to send the message that Black people are generally unfit for society.
What are the character traits? Ignorant. Dull-witted. Lazy. And unlucky.
The Sambo caricature, essentially a slow-witted, happy slave, sent the message that Black people were childlike, lazy, and perpetually smiling.
I thought of it all by myself.
Well, you must be thinking better than you used to, James Henry.
Yes, Master Kerr. I even think more often now.
This caricature is at least as old as America, but was popularized by 19th century blackface minstrel theater performers with painted-on smiles.
Show time.
And it promoted the idea that Black people liked being enslaved because they were simple-minded, perpetual children unable to care for themselves.
You gonna put your shoes on?
Let them save them in case my feet wear out. Then I have them.
The coon caricature similarly ridiculed the idea that Black people could successfully integrate as free members of American society. Like the Sambo, these coons, also called zip coons and urban coons, were depicted as lazy and unintelligent.
Well, why don't you get a job and go to work?
You almost had me a job this morning.
However, while the Sambo was content to be a slave, the coon wanted to be free. Minstrel shows and beyond derived their humor from mocking this aspiration as ludicrous, showing the coon trying and failing to assimilate into white society, speaking in malapropisms, dressing flamboyantly, and avoiding work at all costs.
When the man said, boy, you give me a situation, he'd have to put me through a simple self-examination.
No, stupid. You mean a civil service examination?
Stephen Fetchit, one of the first Black actors to reach mainstream prominence, became synonymous with this caricature.
Here's a letter for you. Well, why you? I'm drinking something myself.
His slow-talking mannerisms and exaggerated body movements othered his characters to an extent that made his performances almost grotesque.
All right, you can't say I never told you now.
Though this caricature has been largely condemned, its lasting legacy is evident in the volume of 20th century films and TV shows in which a Black or Black-coded character's slowness is played for laughs.
Are you brainless?
I speak.
The ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
Mr. Kojata Binks, Mr. Your humble servant.
It can be seen in classic Disney animations, from Dumbo, whose crows are coded as Black.
Dead is dead? No, dead people don't snow. Or do they?
To The Jungle Book, whose King Louis, referencing Louis Armstrong, and his black-coded monkey followers are characterized as dirty, amoral, and uncivilized.
Why, you flat-nosed, little-eyed, flaky creep.
A disgraceful performance. Associating with those undesirable scatterbrained apes?
When Louis sings about wanting to be like a man,
I want to be a man cub, and stroll right into town and be just like the other men.
This can be read as expressing his desire to be white and therefore treated as human.
An ape like me, can learn to be human too.
He wants to possess fire.
Laid a secret on me of man's red fire.
A long-standing symbol of what elevates humans above animals, ever since the ancient Greek myth of Prometheus stealing it from the gods to give to mankind. But the other Jungle Book characters view Louis' goal of being human, i.e. white, as depraved and unrealistic.
Fire. So that's what that scoundrel's after.
And when Louis and his monkeys realize they won't get what they want, they quickly descend into brutish violence and destroy their own home in the jungle's ancient ruins, which scholar Greg Metcalf reads as representing the slums in a scene that he sees as an allusion to the 1965 Watts riots. The coon caricature resulted in widespread stereotyping of Black people as lazy, unintelligent tricksters, even influencing American social policy.
From now on, our nation's answer to this great social challenge will no longer be a never-ending cycle of welfare.
What it do, bro? Peace. With the business, bro.
I see you came right on in on a piece of the Stereotypes video. Now you seen that Walt Disney video, the Jungle Book. I think that's what it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And how they were saying they called the big ape character King Louis, which they was trying to depict the brother Louis Armstrong, the trumpet, the jazz player, jazz singer, or whatever. And then saying that I want to be a man. Now just think about it. That was a message within in itself, because even in the civil rights movement, they used to have those signs that say, I am a man, I am man. I am a man.
Yeah.
You ever remember seeing them signs back, on pictures and stuff back in the days?
I remember
when they was marching for civil rights.
Yep.
Bro, you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember.
Yeah. So he basically was singing a song saying, I want to be a man.
That's my problem, though, dog. I'm at a point right now, and see, that came from the Dr. King, you know what I'm saying, bullshit. And I'm saying bullshit because the thing about it was he got his message and his agenda from a faggot. Let's be honest about it. He got it from a faggot. And then the thing about it, the faggot got it from, you know what I'm saying, my Gandhi, talking about
they might crucify us with the F-bomb.
I don't give a fuck about that, bro. I'm gonna tell them like how it is right now. You know what I'm saying? Because my thing is,
yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
First Amendment says that we have freedom of speech, right? So I'm about to exercise that right now. I don't care damn about, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tear it up, trying to disregard it. It's in y'all constitutional law, freedom of speech. So we about to talk about it right now. You motherfuckers listen.
Straight like that.
Now, thing about it is that we got to step in and fetch a person. But it's just like right now. They only gonna let you on the screen if you play something degraded. They play something that's not kingly. They're playing something that's a slave, playing something that's subservient to the will of the white man, saying that he's the best thing ever since sliced bread. And we trying to get in at his table?
Yeah.
Nah. Because my thing is, and let me just be clear. My brother Chaos brought it to my attention, you know what I'm saying, that it might be a point where it may be on some
You there, bro?
Yeah. Well, you can hear me? Can you hear me?
There? Yeah, I can hear you now. It's like you keep kicking in and kicking off.
I don't know. I got everything up over this way.
No, you good. No, your audio good. It's just like your picture keep going in and then it going out, then it come back in, going out.
Oh, I don't know what that is because so far I haven't seen it on my end over here yet. But then again, yesterday because yours just froze on me.
Okay, hold on a second.
Okay, now you back. So I don't know. It might be a signal. I'm not sure if it's any rain in the forecast on your end or my end.
No,
it ain't
today. No, it ain't doing nothing. Ain't doing nothing out here. It's not doing anything here. Let me see. I'm gonna go to my channel to see what's going on. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah. Well, so far so good. It's showing pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. But now, what you were saying now, bro? You was saying what now?
Well, yeah. See, my thing is, you know what I'm saying, that the people talking about we don't supposed to be talking about this and all. Well, I got the freedom of, you know what I'm saying, First Amendment right of talking about exactly what's on my mind. Now, my thing is, the only way they're going to let you in Hollywood is that you sound degraded. You ain't no, you know what I'm saying, a diamond for your race. You're what you call one of them do boys, you know what I'm saying, and we're going to put out there and use you exactly as far as the symbol of what we want your people to be. And that's slow, ignorant, lazy, shiftless, good for nothing, basically. So the stereotype, that's the crazy thing. Stereotype, a perceived notion of a person that everybody believes. And this is what this is all about right here with the satire of the Jim Crow era, with the minstrel show. They're putting out an image for the world because TV was big back then because it was just coming out. And so now the world gets a chance to be entertained by something different and also informed. But the thing about it, the information that they got from the new TV, that is that the black man is shifted late because that's the only thing they portrayed us as, even up to this day. Destructive and shifted.
Yeah.
So when you have like this picture that you got up right now, that is a 3/5 of a man right there. Tell me about him and the little bird right here, what says anything about authority, responsibility, accomplishment, being successful. I don't see none of that in this picture.
No, you ain't gonna see it. That's the problem. You're not gonna see it because the whole concept is to keep you at the lowest of the low in their society. That's the reason why it's set up that way. It's set up to keep you at the lowest of the low. You know what I'm saying? They ain't trying to make you look like that you know better than they are, because that's gonna serve the purpose. See, that's one thing about it, like the brother said on the video on one of the podcasts back here. He said, that's the thing about it. They always, like now, they only want to see us as gangbangers, dope boys, robbers, servants, or in jail. They only have characters like that or playing some kind of slave role. They don't want to see you basically make a come up in your society or play. Oh, I'm sorry, can't leave that out. Homosexual. See, that's the new minstrel show now. See, they love when you play in the minstrel show, the new minstrel show. Know what you was like, bro?
I mean, you're right about that, you know what I'm saying? And that's all they like to put out there, you know what I'm saying? Portrayal of what they want the people on the planet to believe that we are. Now, here's the sad part. When you're raised in the ghetto and you don't have nothing, you start getting to a point where you're in a survival mode. Now, the thing about a survival mode makes it an animalistic type of characteristic that's formed also. Because you're living hand to mouth. You're not living as a human being. Whereas you got steady income coming in. Whereas you have a roof over your head. Whereas that you have food on your table. Whereas that you have transportation here and from. And then on top of that, you have a professional status at your job that everybody respects. See, that's not what we shoot for. So the media keeps putting out that be the opposite of all of that. And then when you're in a position where you're raised in the ghetto, you in a young mind believe that this is all it is. There is no way out. This is all there is for me to do. It's just a street game. But it's the biggest lie that's on the planet going. Because once you study to show yourself approved, it shows that there are other options that are also available to you if you seek it out. But if you lazy and shiftless, like this Coonan guy on this picture right here, you never should have just throw yourself approved. Because you're not trying to be approved, you're just trying to get by. That's the big difference.
Oh yeah. That's the way they want to they want to depict your way of life. It's looking like that, or I mean, it's more of the, you know what I'm saying? See, they love seeing pictures like these right here. You know, slaves getting beat, and then they even love this. This is the new minstrel show in slavery. It's showing us gunning down motherfuckers. As you can see, the brother Old Dog from his society.
Yeah, but see, I got to go ahead and chime in on that. Is that picture of Old Dog doing what he doing gives them reason now to say that we need to be eradicated as a race because we're good for nothing and we're detrimental to our own race. But that's the lie that they put out there. So I've noticed that anytime that you go on any movie app or any TV show, the only movies that you're going to see as far as black cinema is violence and dysfunctional black men and women. Nothing's ever positive.
Yeah.
You let me know when y'all see, everybody that's out there listening tonight, you go ahead and chime into me and let me know that there's a movie that you don't watch where everything was positive about the black man and black woman. I'll be waiting.
They'll say The Color Purple. waiting to exhale.
How? When I just said positive identities of black men and women. Ain't nothing on either one of them movies, you know what I'm saying, was positive about our black men and women. Nothing. Not a damn thing. All the black men on there either were shipless, they had a life together, no plan for life, and were just moving through it from day to day.
Yeah, not to mention, one guy that came out and said he was gay. He was gay. And you know, it made it look like it was glorified to see Angela Bassett's character burning up the cars and shit, burning up a man's car and shit.
Now that was just the icing on the cake. What they wanted to show was her and her successful black man. That could have been a power couple for the black community as far as an example on how to do things. They split that up by throwing a white woman in there.
Yeah.
Now the thing about it was, Mary J. Blige was on the soundtrack too for this. If y'all remember, the name of the song that she had out at that time frame was "Not Gonna Cry." Remember that now. Now listen to what's going on, people. We got a movie showing a black man that's successful, but he's saying that he can't do it with his black woman. That's the first note. Then you got Mary J., you know what I'm saying, in the background saying, I've been with you all this time supporting you, but yet you do not recognize the support that I've given you, and so you left all that for a white woman. Now, when people like Cynthia G watches movies like this reinforces her mentality that all black men are chasing white women because she's been lied to by Hollywood. So let me know in the hood where you see most of us as black men chasing after black women. I mean, after white women.
I ain't never had the desire, you know what I'm saying? I mean, because where I come from, only white women that I knew, that I ever seen in my life in the hood was my school teachers. And they was flat back, and nobody wasn't trying to hit that.
Exactly.
Only thing we were trying to do was get the education and move to the next grade. That was it. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, the depiction of Hollywood is basically wants to tell its story of what they think black people's lives are like, and they've been doing it for the last almost 100 years since its existence with the first blockbuster movie, A Birth of a Nation. I ain't talking about the one they did with the Nat Turner movie. I'm talking about the original one with the KKK. That basically was a recruit video for the KKK.
Yeah. See, here's the thing about it. Everybody came up when they dropped Birth of a Nation, and then the president at the time thing Roosevelt saying that it was the best movie ever. What did I tell y'all, people?
Yeah.
Because when it comes down to raping women, it's always been them. When it comes down to burning and pillaging and destroying our society, it's always been them. So Birth of the Nation proved to everybody on the planet on how the white man looked at us.
Basically.
We have you ever known droves of black men talking about we're gonna go ahead and take all the white women? I ain't never heard it in no movies, rap songs, or nothing.
Well, that movie John's movie got arrested. That movie Rosewood, when the dude from what was that, not Robocop, but Terminator raped her, and he was trying to talk to, and he had sex with her, and then she was like, when you coming back? And he was like, he didn't say nothing. I don't know. And she said, did you hear me? Did you hear me talking to you? And he turned around and beat the hell out of her ass. Then when he beat her ass, she was so fucking paranoid and scared. She was scared to say that the white man did it. She turned around and said, a black person done.
And here's the crazy thing, dog. After the movie was over with again, he was beaten again at the end scene.
No, that was a real dude. That was a side dude that was whooping her ass the first time.
That's what I'm saying. It don't matter. He was a white guy.
Yeah.
The same thing that started the whole Rosewood situation was a white guy beating on his woman. And because she didn't want to get out, she told the townspeople it was a nigger. Now, after all the chaos and the bodies fell after that, from a historical standpoint, went for like 3 or 4 days. After the fact, it went right back to the original consequence of what went down. She got jumped on by her own people. And she then wants to say it again. That's when the movie went off. I'm like, now see, how is Birth of a Nation even a legit film when it's a damn lie? Because Rosewood shows you we had nothing to do with the white woman. We wanted to stay far from her.
No, because we had
it was the white women, man.
We had our own issues, man. We had our own problems, bro. We didn't have time for the bullshit. That's the reason why when Cynthia G stood up there and said that goof ass shit that she said about, you know what I'm saying, that we was too busy trying to run down white women and try to be like the white man. It's like, Nick, bitch, do you know what the fuck you just do you even hear yourself? Because ain't no motherfucking way in the world it's been documented that Loving versus Virginia was a black man going to the fucking Supreme Court justice trying to get rights for black men today or white women.
You know what? I got a question now, dog. Who the fuck is Cynthia G? And what does she do? That, you know what I'm saying? Because my thing was, her name was thrown into the media, you know what I'm saying? And we both, you know what I'm saying, was starting to talk about this thing. But now that I'm sitting to think about it, who the fuck is she? Is she a publisher? Book writer? Who the fuck is she? But I don't know the reason why I'm saying that is because I know the media that threw her up into the mix because it's the division between the black man and woman. That's the only reason that she's relevant. Other than that, what the hell does she do, dog? What does she do?
I don't know what the hell she do. Cause I mean, she ain't doing that. Cause I mean, even like Corey Holcomb said, you know, shout out to Corey Holcomb, comedian Corey Holcomb. He said shit. He said the broad ain't getting on Fox O, but at the same time, you gotta think about it. This is a Fox News, a Fox Network TV show that brought her on, basically saying what the fuck she wanted to say. So you think about that. Fox don't like black people at all any damn way.
Never have. Never have.
You call themselves say they gave us our own Fox station, called it Fox Soul. Ain't no black soul in that. Cause see, the brother, the one said when he came on the goddamn show, he said they didn't even tell him that it was gonna be a situation like that. So basically, you know, they got ambushed because the one in Dr. Umar Johnson that time.
Here's my thing.
Did I ever show you that video?
Yeah, I saw the video, but here's my thing. Umar Johnson knows about Fox, dog. He been knowing about Fox. He used to talk about Fox, you know what I'm saying, years ago. So my thing
no. But see, hold on, bro. Pump your brakes. Hold on. Listen to what I'm saying. The one said when on Corey Holcomb show that when they basically came on the show, they said something about do he think the topic was for that night was supposed to be, do you think black men are being bombed, you know, being done wrong in society? And they was like, yeah. And they was like, okay,
I don't understand it, dog.
This is what I'm saying. So it was like one of those, like one of the old Jitney Jones type of shows where they're like, oh yeah, you think black men are being done wrong? Okay, guess who we got on show? And here comes Cynthia G and this trans dude, Hope Giselle. And they basically came on, and she basically came on there and was saying what she was saying, but at the same time, when Dr. Umar was trying to give his point, she was cutting him off and everything like that because she really didn't want it. She basically wasn't trying to hear nothing he was saying because it really didn't matter.
No, her show is all about white supremacy, trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Tammy Mack, she sought that shit up with her fucked up ass, and that's the reason why the reason why she got that show is because it was gonna be a setup like that, man.
Of course it was. The whole thing was. So my thing is, you got to understand what's going on the planet, bro. And the thing about, once you find out that, you know what I'm saying, that we in a media society where they're going to always curve the story to make sure that we look negative in light, whether it's, you know what I'm saying, talk show, a panel, or whatever it is. As long as it's media, believe me, fools that's on the media are being sponsored by the folks that don't like it. So going on to these shows, you should already know Roland Martin and the rest of them fools over that way. It's going to be a setup. Because the only way that you get prime time on the TV is because you done sold out, dog. That's the only reason. Hold on a second. Let me run track.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I can definitely dig that. But that's the thing about it, you know what I'm saying? It's just the modern day minstrel show to keep us right where they feel like they want us to be. You know, but let me see if I can find this video on the sister, but I'm not gonna play her video. I'm not gonna play her video. I'm just gonna probably just play the audio off of it. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. I'm gonna find that Crimson Cure video because Sister Kendra said some real shit. Let me see which video that video was that she did. No, that's not it. That's not it. Let's see. Damn, where the video at? Let's see.
Okay, bro, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Oh no, you good. I'm just trying to find that video I wanted to show that Kendra had made earlier today, man. It's a video. Well, I'll put it this way. We'll just do this one.
No big. When you live with.
We'll just do this one here. Cause this is a part of the minstrel. This is a part of the black stereotypes. So yeah.
I just wish we would stop helping these fools with this minstrel show.
Oh, I mean, but yeah, I can dig it. But I'm gonna go ahead and show her video. It's gonna be it's all good.
Wait,
because I mean, I want you to hear this shit. This is the realest shit ever. One of the realest shit ever that she did right here.
Hey there, my first night, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So, the minstrel show continues. Black women are always the face of foolishness and stupidity in the name of trying to be funny and this and that. And it's just not funny. It's just not cutely done. I'm going to show you 2 videos from the same person's TikTok. One of them not going to have any sound because there's music in the background, but you'll be able to see what she's doing. Then I'm going to show you another one of her videos that's going to have sound and you can see what she's saying. So without too much, we're going to show these videos and then we're going to come back and really cook because this is kind of disgusting. There's no language, but what you see, you're going to be disgusted by. So here we go.
Come and get me. Halloween ends.
And that's enough of that. We're going to stop sharing. And I'm going to show you. Yes, that was not a green screen. She was in a cotton field, a real one. Okay. Here we go. This one is the one that has sound. I need you to hear what she's saying. Here we go.
I've been seeing this post going.
By the way, there's a little bit of language here, so just be warned. I think she drops an F-bomb or something like that, but I'm gonna let it continue.
Going around asking people would they. I've been seeing this post going around asking people would they pick cotton for $200 an hour, and I just want to say y'all sound so stupid. Cause hell yeah, I pick cotton for $200 an hour. What kind of simple goddamn question is that? I'm on the way now to freedom. I've been seeing.
Okay. And you were able to watch both of those videos. She got a lot of different videos. They're disgusting, most of them, just from the concept of what's going on. That, like I said, is a real cotton field. So what that tells me is she lives down south somewhere. We don't know exactly where. I've seen cotton fields in Alabama. I've seen cotton fields in Mississippi. I've seen cotton fields in Tennessee. Okay, so she might be in one of them places or any other of the southern states. Those are those real cotton field. That was not a green screen, okay? Not in the first one or the second one. The second one, you can tell she's outside. First one, you might have thought it was a green screen. It is not. There's a real cotton field, and she was actually picking real cotton. Fields are overrun because they are not tended anymore. Not those. There are cotton fields, but those are not being tended anymore. So she's able to go in and out of them. Nothing taken seriously. This is the minstrel show that Black women have become. Like I said, that's an actual cotton field that has grown wild. So she's down south somewhere, and that field is not far from where she lives. Okay, that field is right around her house because you don't travel real far to make TikTok videos and this and that. So that field is probably right next door to her or right down the street or right around the corner. It's walking distance from where she live at. Okay, seeing that cotton field, probably grew up looking at them. like no better than a vacant lot. Seeing those cotton fields does nothing for her. It doesn't give her any respect. It doesn't make her think any deeply. It doesn't make her think about or wonder or ponder or consider all the things and all the atrocities that must have happened in those cotton fields. What her ancestors had to suffer through in those cotton fields, the death that occurred to them in them cotton fields. How many bodies might actually be buried there, left to rot there? Because if it's a cotton field, then it's part of what used to be a plantation. So there's probably a plantation house that's no longer being upkept. And you might even be able to see old slave quarters as well. I've seen all of them things in my travels down south when I was young. Saw slave quarters, saw old plantation houses, saw the overrun cotton fields. And the feeling that you get when you pass these places and when you go into these places, you feel the weight of the history of that place. For her to be able to go into that place and all that she can think of to do is twerk and make what she thinks is a funny TikTok video for play, that shows what kind of minstrel show that Black women really have become, where the mindset really is. The second video was even more disgusting because she's sitting there, first of all, a bonnet queen. She think that having a silken bonnet with little stuff written on it and having her makeup done and her lashes done makes that bonnet not be as bad as it is. You still showing up in public with a bonnet on. You matching it with your shirt. We don't care nothing about that. Okay? Sick of y'all with these bonnets. All right? Y'all do not deserve to be the voice of Black women or the face of us or the representation of us. But before I get into that part, to say willingly, yeah, I'll go back to the plantation. I'll actually be willing to go back to an actual plantation and do the very act that our ancestors were forced to do for free labor under duress and under the pain and threat of death. I'll go back for $200 an hour like an idiot and go and actually pick cotton in a cotton field. Are you kidding me? Just even if you would do that, even if that is something you thought about and it's something that you would do, why would you get on social media to tell everybody that you would go and do backbreaking slave work that your ancestors fought not to do? And it wasn't even just the work that they didn't want to do. They didn't want the subjugation that came with the work. They didn't want the beating that came with the work. They didn't want the threat of death that came with the work. They didn't want the enslavement that came with the work. This was not paid work. This is why we talking about reparations right now. Because the work wasn't paid. If it was actual work that somebody volunteered to do to get paid for, that's different. But that is not what our ancestors went through at all. So for you to come through and say that I'm willing to go back to the plantation, what this tells us is that she's not out of the plantation anyway. Mentally, she's in the plantation anyway. And we know that a majority of Black women are mentally enslaved, mentally colonized, mentally on the plantation. So it wouldn't be no big thing to physically go back to a plantation. No big thing, because she's already colonized in her mind. She's already conquered in her mind. She's already doing the bidding of white supremacy in her mind. She's already doing that. She already suck up to Zaddy. She already destroys her men. She already destroys her children. She already makes a fool out of herself. She already do this stuff. She already value wealth over anything spiritual, which is why you would go and devalue yourself for $200 an hour. Because you still thinking broke, because you thinking in hourly wages. But we're not even going to talk about all of that. She's never left the plantation anyway, which is why she's so willing to go back. And I'm pretty sure that there's plenty of Black women that you could ask. And if you pose that question, they'll have the same reaction that she had. Sure, I'll go back. What you mean? What you mean? Why would that be a problem? Me going to a plantation and picking cotton, why would that be a problem? Because she's already her colonizer's dog. She's already that. These are the types of women that have to be excluded from every conversation and every effort taken to reclaim the Black community, because she's not here to help anyway. She's already destroyed. She's already colonized. She's already taken over. She's already conquered. She's already doomed. She already sold us out. So no reason for her to come along, because she wouldn't do nothing but sell us out again and breed children that would sell us out in the future. So she doesn't need to be a part of anything that we're talking about when we talk about reclaiming the Black community. She is not here to help. She never will be, and her kind never has been. She's a perpetual bed wench. She's a perpetual bed wench, and we don't need them. Only the lionesses are able to stand tall and be the representation of Black women to change our image and reclaim things like Black women's self-respect, Black women's public image, the respect of our men, and the respect of our children, and the respect of our community. Only lionesses are able to do this. This is only something for a lioness to truly be able to do, because these hyenas cannot be trusted. She cannot have a seat at the table at all. Her opinion is not valid. Nothing should be taken seriously, because she don't even take nothing seriously. So why should she be taken seriously in any type of general way? And I'm pointing it out because this is the mindset that we're really dealing with right here. She not really playing. It's made in a joking way, but she ain't really playing. She think that. This the type of time she on mentally. A whole minstrel show by herself. Her whole TikTok page is a minstrel show, a one woman minstrel show. That's what she running.
Shout out to that sister there, Kendra, Crimson Cure. I love that woman. That woman there, that sister, man, she don't play no games, bro. You need to check her channel out on YouTube.
I will.
Subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when I have a little change in my pocket, I've always, donate to her channel. But because if we get many more women like her to talk in the community, boy, we'll be back on the prowl like it used to be back in the day. Because she don't sugarfoot a bullshit for nobody. She don't care who you are. She gonna spit that real. And she just basically, she went in, she threw gems, bro. You sit there and listen to what she said. And that's true. Because what she said, that young lady was serious about that. Because she's thinking about the stability concept of the situation. I'm thinking that I'm finna get paid. You don't even know what the whole concept of chopping cotton or picking cotton was all about way back in the day. Because if you gonna go back and get $200 an hour, they gonna say we're gonna do you just like we did your ancestors back in the day. But at the same time, you gonna get paid. We're gonna beat your ass. We're gonna damn near kill you. We're gonna damn near drown you out because we ain't gonna feed you. You ain't gonna get no regular lunch breaks and all that old shit like you do regular job. We just gonna treat you like dog shit for $200 an hour. She gonna be like, but average motherfucker gonna be like, no, that's not true, because she gonna be like, no, that's okay, I ain't gonna do it. Yes, she will. She'll still do it. She just said she'll do it. Most people might say she probably didn't know what she was talking about. She knew. She done heard stories.
Of course they have.
She done heard it in the air. It's in the air about slavery. About how black people have been done chopping cotton and doing all the stuff they done back in the Jim Crow era. She's not gonna do booty to this shit. She was just trying to be funny, because like I said earlier, boy, you wasn't here when I first started the podcast this evening. I said young folks don't know how to take nothing seriously. They don't take shit, no kind of historical matter seriously anymore. This is like they were making them motherfuckers out here making jokes about Jeffrey Dahmer. This man that ate motherfucking black people. And they making jokes about it, thinking it's funny. And see, that's why I can't get mad and get upset when the cops go around here shooting motherfuckers. Because you basically showing to yourself you don't give a fuck. So why should they give a fuck? And I'm not taking up for the cops. I'm not taking up for law enforcement. It ain't about that. It's about the fact that common sense ain't common no goddamn more. Motherfuckers just doing shit just because they think it's funny. They don't know how to be serious. That's why when I hear black women saying they don't need a man, yes, they do. We need each other. It takes more than one person to raise a fucking child. Because you get one side. That child getting one side. Because I mean, you just think about it, that young lady had anybody that really knew, that really had her back, that really was teaching her something, she wouldn't be out there doing no motherfucking videos about being in no goddamn cotton field for likes and views and shit. I mean, a lot of motherfuckers, I'm sure, just sit back there and laugh at that video. And then there's a lot of motherfuckers probably sit up there and say, man, girl, you need to cut that shit out. And she probably saying, getting her emotional ass feelings, saying, you know what? That's my motherfucking TikTok. I do whatever the fuck I want to do. If you don't like it, delete me and all this old shit. Like, that's going to be the answer to your problems in society. But like I say, I know how the Most High works. Because when you don't take nothing serious, he ain't going to take nothing serious. Then that's going to be the end of this. That's going to be, like the cartoon say, bleep, bleep, bleep. That's all, folks. Your ass going to be up out of here.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there watching, and the sister was right. The second part about her sitting there explaining was worse than her doing the dance in the damn cotton field.
Yeah, exactly.
It's confirmed, you know what I'm saying, the ignorance, you know what I'm saying, and she right. And that's the reason why I felt that, you know what I'm saying. I try to talk to the folks, you know what I'm saying, that ain't trying to listen. Those that, you know what I'm saying, don't want nothing to do with the productivity as far as our race, I'm not thinking about them no more. I'm not even trying to reach, I'm not trying to argue with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking past them now. I'm only looking for those certain few, just like the sister you just showed me, and anybody else as far as brothers that's showing me, that them the ones that I'm focused on. Everybody else, I don't care about them, dog.
Oh yeah, I already know. I can dig it, bro. I can dig it. I already know. Straight like that. I already know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because like you said, a lot of us ain't gonna make it. A lot of them motherfuckers ain't gonna make it.
Hey,
I mean, they already started their ways on illiteracy type of type of mindsets is going on around here.
Yep.
Because right there, that should be off limits. Could you imagine if the Jewish community kids were sitting up there making jokes about the Holocaust?
Tell me about it.
You ain't gonna see no shit like that, because they take that shit seriously.
Yeah, they do.
And they kids are not gonna even go nowhere close to doing no shit like that, because they know their history. Just like we need to know our history. We don't know our history. And then a lot of us do know our history. They just don't give a fuck. They're like, that was a long time ago, ain't got nothing to do with me. Oh, it has a whole lot to do with you. Because if you don't take yourself seriously in this life, how you expect them motherfuckers to take you seriously in any other life later on down the line in the future?
Yep.
Because these motherfuckers already know. That's why I say, when you're looking at I still got some parts of the racial video that, stereotype video that I'm gonna show. I wanted to show one about the black women stereotypes, because they got a video out on black women. But I'm gonna finish that off a little bit, you know what I'm saying, before we get up out of here. You know, but man, here we go. Let's see.
It will be the dignity, the power, and the ethic of work
In the 1980s and 90s, these negative caricatures evolved into the myth of the welfare queen, who would rather live off state money than work.
Y'all stupid for going to work every day and paying taxes. I let the government pay for all my and I live like a queen.
A stereotype that can still be seen in modern entertainment.
School ain't gonna help none. Take your ass down to the welfare.
While the coon caricature led to Black men being portrayed as lazy and unintelligent, Black women tended to be characterized as domineering, sassy, and downright angry.
Why does everyone just assume I'm angry all the time? It's called being sassy, Mr. Shoe.
The pervasive angry Black woman stereotype is also known as the sapphire, after the domineering character in Amos and Andy, the 1950s radio show voiced by mostly white actors, which became a TV show with an all-Black cast.
It's about time you met some decent people instead of that horrible, uncouth group you associate with.
This show depicted Sapphire as constantly scolding her lazy husband for being irresponsible and unemployed. The idea that Black women are inherently sassy
Ma'am, this over-the-counter diaper cream is prohibited.
has much earlier roots in a subsection of the mammy trope known as the sassy mammy.
Miss Scarlett, where are you going without your shawl and night owl fixed to set in?
Popularized by actress Hattie McDaniel in films like Judge Priest, in addition to Gone with the Wind, the trope of the sassy housekeeper who still ultimately loves the family she serves was another way that the mammy was painted as part of the family, comfortable enough to give them a hard time. And versions of this sassy housekeeper type still live on today.
I'm gonna go in that laundry room and I'm gonna get on my knees and pray that tequila I hid in the cabinet is still there.
But in the 20th century, sassy mammies working in white homes evolved into characterizations of Black wives and mothers who chastised their own families.
Michael, get your feet off my damn couch before I slap the jam out of your toes.
Like the coon caricature, the sapphire pathologizes any Black woman who wants to exist outside of the white domestic structure by suggesting she's unfit for traditionally feminine duties like marriage or mothering her own children.
Gina, how are you gonna have a baby when you still taking care of one?
The prevalence of these characterizations helps solidify enduring, damaging assumptions that Black families are more likely to be broken or dysfunctional, defined by an absent Black father and an overbearing Black mother.
I'm so mad at you, I could dump down your throat and stomp your liver.
In more recent years, Black women's perceived anger has shifted from being focused at their families to being directed at society.
You owe me an apology. I have never cheated in my life.
Today, the sapphire remains a fixture in reality TV.
With Omarosa, it's either her way or it's no way.
And the angry Black woman trope has been weaponized against any Black woman who dares to speak out against systemic oppression and injustice perpetrated against her, even being leveled at accomplished professional women like Michelle Obama and Serena Williams.
I was called an angry Black woman.
Finally, a third category of pervasive stereotypes paints Black people as animalistic. Whereas the Mammy and the Tom caricatures were purposefully desexualized, certain caricatures portrayed Black people as wild or animalistic by hypersexualizing them.
I know I'm not good enough for you, but let me have your precious white body just once.
The Jezebel caricature portrays a Black woman who is lascivious and insatiable by nature.
I'm told that you are a dangerous man, Arturo. I like that. It excites me.
During slavery, this caricature was commonly utilized to justify the common sexual abuse of Black women by white men.
Queen of the field, she is.
The Jezebel became popularized on screen in the 1970s during the rise of Blaxploitation movies.
You'll be nice to them boys, won't you, if we're nice to you?
And to this day, Black women face a double standard that judges them as being too sexual, even when they make the same clothing choices that are accepted for white women. For Black men, hypersexualization took the shape of the aggressive, amoral buck or brute caricature, also known as the Mandingo.
Be my victim.
To this day, it is not unusual for Black male characters to be described as more virile,
Anything is possible when your man smells like Old Spice and not a lady.
naturally strong, or athletic. Going back to Birth of a Nation and 1933's King Kong, which can be read as a racist allegory about a Black man stealing a white woman before she's rescued by heroic white men.
We'll give him more than chains. He's always been king of his world, but we'll teach him fear.
Movies have helped propagate the dangerous lie that hypersexual Black men are a danger to white women. This myth has had devastating real-world consequences, as it was used to justify the practice of lynching.
It's my story.
You attacked me.
And shoot down the 1922 anti-lynching bill in the U.S. Senate. The weaponizing of the animalistic brute and Jezebel caricatures against Black people, who were overrepresented as violent criminals and sex workers in the media.
When I started working, me and my fellow actors, we were always drug dealers, we were mugging somebody.
Has fueled long-standing assumptions that Black communities must be over-policed and brutalized.
You cannot deny we live in a world where people see a Black man and they're more likely to think, oh, I might get robbed.
So this ingrained misrepresentation has led directly to the systemic police brutality and abuses of power driving the 2020 global Black Lives Matter protests.
There is an African-American man. I am in Central Park. He is recording me and threatening myself and my dog.
Hi, my name is Robert Taylor, and I'm a Black actor.
Speaking of Hattie McDaniel's performance in Gone with the Wind, film historian Donald Bogle said,
"She's got a hostile edge, and there's something she's angry about." Of course, Gone with the Wind won't tell us that she's angry about having always to work for Ms. Scarlett.
In the earliest mainstream films, the majority of Black characters were portrayed by white actors in blackface. But, as Bogle argues, once Black performers got in front of the camera, they could bring their lived experiences and imply three-dimensionality in their characters beyond what was in the script.
I knew that, there were things they weren't telling me. I said, well, where does Mammy live?
Some performers, like McDaniel, have argued the negative effects of caricatures they've played were overshadowed by the positives, as their success opened doors for other Black actors and creators to go on to more complex roles.
I sincerely hope I shall always be a credit to my race.
Fetchit is quoted as saying, "It was Stepp who elevated the Negro to the dignity of a Hollywood star."
He was the first Black actor to earn $1 million. The first Black actor to get an on-screen credit.
Ultimately, though, this subversion was limited. McDaniel wasn't allowed to attend her movie's whites-only Atlanta premiere, had to sit at a segregated table at the Oscars, and was honored for a film that civil rights groups protested for romanticizing slavery.
All I'm saying is that without Lincoln Perry paving the way, we might not have a Denzel.
And all I'm saying is without Stepp and Fetchit, I might be comfortable napping in front of white folk.
Meanwhile, Black playwrights and filmmakers have used satire to undermine popular stereotypical depictions and give audiences the tools to critically evaluate portrayals of Black people on screen.
Satire is the way if we are ever to live side by side in peace and harmony.
Films like Spike Lee's Bamboozled and Robert Townsend's Hollywood Shuffle use satire to critique the processes in Hollywood that value caricatures over authentic Black storytelling.
I need a little more black. You know what I'm saying? Like stick your ass out, bug the eyes.
Works like George C. Wolfe's 1986 play The Colored Museum and Keenan Wayne's I'm Gonna Get You Sucker take historical caricatures to grotesque extremes in order to expose the dark messages that underlie them.
We also ask that you please refrain from call and response singing between cabins, as that sort of thing can lead to rebellion.
While 1996's Don't Be a Menace to South Central While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood skewers the gangsta stereotypes of those 90s coming-of-age in the hood films. More recently, nuanced, realistic shows like Insecure and Dear White People utilize show-within-a-show formats to highlight how one-dimensional and ridiculous long-standing Black stereotypes really are.
I hate slavery.
Yes, Mr. President. I pledge allegiance to your...
In Jordan Peele's 2017 satirical horror movie Get Out, the white characters baselessly hypersexualize the Black male protagonist.
Where's Rose?
Oh, you dirty dog.
While the stereotypical Black maid and groundskeeper are revealed to be literally controlled by white people, symbolically getting at how these one-dimensional characters are really white props.
The Armitages are so good to us.
Donald Glover's Atlanta explores how insidious many of these stereotypes remain through characters who were highly conscious of being perceived through the lens of caricatures like the Sapphire and the deadbeat father.
Why are you always turning me into the angry Black woman?
Because you are.
I'm the stereotype?
Mm-hmm.
Well, your ass, you can't even take care of your own goddamn kid?
I'm fine being a stereotype.
Despite being highly intelligent and complex people with strong professional potential, Ern and Van both frequently feel trapped by these damaging and reductive stereotypes, which their situations and their society's preconceptions make it almost impossible to escape.
I'm not asking for money. You should be. Ain't you homeless? Not real homeless. I'm not using a rat as a phone or something.
Once we become aware of how these negative caricatures were crafted to uphold slavery and segregation, we start to see how deeply ingrained they still are, both in our stories
I am sick and tired of you always jumping to the angry black woman of it all.
and in our culture at large.
If it hurts a bunch of lazy blacks that wants the government to give them everything, so be it.
It can be very hard to escape these stereotypes, precisely because they've shaped our cultural views so deeply and for so long.
What would you have done if I told you that the solution to all your problems was a magical black man sitting out on the edge of town?
Numerous contemporary examples, to varying degrees, still play into these stereotypes or bear subtle hallmarks of them.
Here you go, Dougie.
As modern viewers, we must do all we can to critically interrogate the stories we watch, to avoid slipping into assumptions, and to seek out thoughtful, nuanced depictions of Black people and others who have been marginalized throughout film and TV history.
At some point, you got to decide for yourself who you're going to be. Can't let nobody make that decision for you.
Only through this mindfulness can we unravel and start to counteract the insidious effects of centuries of misrepresentation.
If I'm not the nigga here, and you invented him, you, the white people, invented him, then you got to find out why.
This video is brought.
All right, we're back. Bruh, I know you had slipped off for a second, but
yeah, just for a second.
I know what you got to say about all that you didn't see, bro. Shout out to Lisa Pam, she just popped in.
What's going on there, sister? Now, my thing is, you know what I'm saying, the way I feel about it, they giving you the evidence, you know what I'm saying, of what everybody doing, you know what I'm saying, today. And my thing is, ain't nobody paying attention. We at a position right now whereas we got black folks making America great, they're actually trying to get that to happen again. And when we have our people, you actually, you know what I'm saying, agree with them and say they'll go back to where it used to be, it's a lost cause. It's a lost cause, bro.
That's on my end. Might be on my end.
What's that?
Shit.
Go ahead.
Okay, no. Go ahead and say it again, because you had froze up on my end.
But what I was saying is that it definitely is a lost cause for our race, because you got the majority of us that they want to put on in front of the camera. And I don't even know who this fool was, you know what I'm saying, where she from, out there in the cotton field, you know what I'm saying, twerking. I don't know who it is, but see, this is what white media go find stuff like that to throw it out there, to put it on the play, and see your algorithm, so everybody get a chance to see it. Like, okay, yeah, this is what we want y'all to see. Right. Because see, once you see it, you say, okay, I accept. Once I accept it, then you say, okay, it's fine for me and my household. Now we back where we were. And if you ain't questioning it about why there's a problem in there, then you put it on the problem. Straight like that.
Yeah, you see, show you glitch on my. Yeah, I didn't catch that, but it glitched on my end. But when I see I'm still alive. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, but see, this is the thing, man. If I've always said, if we learn to show our youngins historical situations, bro, these young folks will get a better understanding on things that they shouldn't take as a joke versus things that are a joke. Because none of this shit that went down in the past towards our people was not funny. It was never funny. It was, I mean, this was nothing but a promotional deal to make us look like what they want the world to see us as.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But we sitting around there trying to play it as a joke and think it's funny as hell, and not trying to hold yourself accountable for the seriousness in these stereotypes. You know, it's just like we was talking about the young lady from Memphis named Gorilla. You know, like I said, all you gotta do is say that word over and over again. Gorilla. It's supposed to be glow, like the shine glow. And that's even worse right there, because that's another stereotype word right there. Shine, because they called black people shines back in the day.
Bad,
So
boy.
you're getting dissed again and not even knowing it. But I guarantee you, if you knew the history and research and find out certain things that they basically called us back in those days, I guarantee you will get a better understanding on what to call yourself. But I know, like you said the other night, bro, she didn't give herself that name. They gave her that goddamn name. The same way they gave her them checks.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, she'll fuck around and take the L off and be called Gorilla. She wouldn't care, because she gonna say, I'm getting that gorilla bag though.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is all stupidity, because you sold yourself out and don't know that.
I'm getting that gorilla bag. And nigga like me sitting up there looking like this here. Okay.
I ain't got time. Yeah, I say I ain't got time.
Exactly. If that's what you feel, hey, do you?
That's why I say, do you?
At the end of the day, you gotta live this life, not me. Because one thing about it, I was raised to love myself and to learn how to love others, how to look out for myself and how to look out for others. We lacking that right now. We lacking that severely now. And the reason why we're lacking that real severely now is because we've been brainwashed throughout so many years to think that we better than each other. But at the same time, they still see you as a nigga. They still see you as a black man, a black woman, regardless of what you have. Because guess what? When you get something, what neighborhood you going to shine on? You damn sure ain't going to shine on them. You're going to go shine on your own kind.
Yep.
Cause when you go get that Dodge Charger, Challenger, Scat Cat, or Hellcat, or Red Eye, or where the fuck, guess who hood you gonna come to? You going to your hood and show your partners or niggas that you say hating on you, and they gonna fuck around there and rob your ass
quickly,
because they ain't got it. You ain't trying to help them get it. So guess what they gonna do? They gonna come at you and rob your ass. But guess what? You wasn't the only ones that did it, you know what I'm saying? Because the Italians, the Irish, the motherfucking Protestant whites and Anglo-Saxons or whatever the case may be, they used to do it. Even the Jews, they used to do it. They used to rob each other back in the days. But when they became as one white people, they didn't have to do that no more because they always giving each other. They all got reparations. They all got money.
That's so far.
So,
yeah,
bro,
man.
what do you think? Before we pop about this thing, because we got 9:15, so we're gonna give ourselves 15 more minutes. But what you think is the solution to end this minstrel show that we got going on?
Not gonna end. We got people still, you know what I'm saying, want to agree with it. It's not gonna end.
Minstrel show that Well, if they don't want to, I mean, you pretty much got it on point. I believe that too. I mean, because it's just mind-boggling, man, to just get up every morning and do sucker shit every damn morning. When you get up, do the same sucker shit. Why you don't want to do nothing different? You constantly want to get up every morning, just do some stupid shit. You know, That's just like I passed through Dallas today, this afternoon, and traffic was held up pretty bad going, on the side of downtown Dallas. And then I get down further and I see these two sports cars. One of the sports cars tore up like hell. The other one kind of messed up. But these motherfuckers was basically speeding, drag racing, and ran into each other and tore their shit up. Sitting on the side of the road with the cops there, with their head down. Hurt. Because you didn't fucked up two $70-something cars. And probably ain't had no insurance. Well, they had insurance on it, but I mean, you ain't gonna get nothing off of it too much. You probably get a couple dollars. You probably gonna get nothing because it was preventable. It's gonna be marked as preventable. So 9 out of 10, they was racing. Because that's a thing in Texas now, racing. That's the thing. They race motorcycles, everything that's stopped. They figure they out here tearing the roads up with that shit. And in California, they doing donuts in the middle of the damn street. They had somebody. Matter of fact, I wanted to show that video, but I said I didn't want to show it because I know you probably gonna start busting out laughing. So I said I ain't gonna even show it. But these motherfuckers, I don't know what street they was on out in LA, but they was doing donuts and the car accidentally hit one of the guys with his camera videotaping. Knocked him on his ass. Bloop! Oh yeah, he was hurt. And they were, you know, he had the out crowd. You had that one, what you call it? That sad crowd. You know, where everybody ooh, ooh. And I'm like, what the fuck y'all oohing for? Y'all wasn't oohing when y'all was saying this motherfucker's in the way. Uh-oh. Running snapped off. God damn it, Dark Prince. Every time. I'll be glad when he get him a damn laptop. Stop using that damn phone. Because when he use that phone, he paya. But anyway, let's see. 9:19, man. But yeah, that's going to pretty much conclude the minstrel show, the black racist stereotypes in America. You know, one thing I can tell us as black people, we need to learn how to be more accountable for our actions and learn how to find out historical things about ourselves, because a lot of times we could be repeating the process of calling ourselves out of our names that they used to call us. I mean, I know you say, you know, well, they used to call us niggers back in the days and we call ourselves niggers today. Well, that's totally different, because if you really look at the whole real word of the word nigger, it takes you all the way back to the original word negus, which means king. In Nigeria, Niger, all those words. Nigeria is queen, Niger is king. And if you notice, those are countries in Africa. Nigeria, I think it is. I'm not for Nigeria. Male and female, king and queen. And that's the same word for the word nigger, a nigger or whatever, but they basically taunt that word so bad to where they made you hate that word. Because all it was just highly aggressiveness by them calling you that, to make you really hate that word. But but we called ourselves niggas or whatever in ancient times. That's how we labeled ourselves, by power. It's just like the swastika. When you see the swastika about an Aryan nation, white Aryan brotherhood, you automatically think that's racist. But in reality, it comes from Ethiopia. It comes from the motherland. It means power. And the sure don't mean white power, because white people wasn't even thought of when this swastika shit came out. basically everything that Caucasian people get in society comes from us. Always remember that. It didn't come from them. They just told you that they got it. Then, please, white people, all our our children, y'all. That's why a lot of times you can sit up there and have a conversation with a Caucasian person, and they'll look you dead in your eye, and they don't have nothing to say because they know who you are better than you know who you are. But at the same time, just like a child, they like to play. Oh yeah, they didn't call us names, they didn't degrade us, they didn't did all kind of shit, they didn't hurt us, harmed us, and all kind of shit. But at the same time, you forgive them because naturally intended, they are children. So a lot of times we forgive our children for fucking up. But then again, when they get a little bit too far out of shape, then we got to spank their ass. And that's the part of the media, the part of the story they don't talk about, because there were black people that were whooping ass back in the day. Yeah, they probably got killed or lynched or whatever the case may be, but they was kicking ass. Because you can only do a person wrong for so long to where they have to get in that ass. That's with any human being. Especially with blacks, because I mean we done been through it all. We done been killed, we done been lynched, we done been raped, we done been murdered, we done been stole from, we done been lied on, we done been cheated. We done been everything known to man on this planet. And the reason why is because we're the firstborn. We're the original people. Man and woman. Black man and black woman. They know it. That's why we can do things that they can't seem to understand. We can get out here and pop lock, break dance, DJ, sing, dance, play sports. We can do it all. And they trying to figure out, damn, how did they do that? Because we're the original. We're the original man and woman. They are the carbon copies of us. They are the recessive version of us. We are the dominant. So at the end of the day, when you think that you gotta be them, you basically eating backwards. They trying to be you. Why the hell what you want to be them for? They came from you. They're a carbon copy of you. You shouldn't want to be a carbon copy of them. That ain't gonna be right. That's why I say when black women, y'all go out here and get these hair hats and eyelashes and stuff, you don't need that shit. Be your own natural, beautiful self. Because that's when they'll take you seriously. They'll know that you really mean business. But if you don't show yourself approve of your own love for yourself, how you expect somebody else to love you? How you expect to have a man? How you expect your child to respect you when you don't respect yourself? The same way with us brothers. We got to step our game up. We got to do what's right as well. But at the same time, we can't do it by ourselves. Just like the women can't do it by themselves. They might say, we don't need no man. Of course you do. It's in your nature. It's in your DNA. It's in your soul to need a man. It's in your soul to need a man. Because when you want to, when you know, a lot of times you can sit up there and say, I go to the adult store and buy me a toy. That toy can't hold you and caress you. They can only do is just get you off for that night, and then you're gonna want some more tomorrow. All we gotta do, black man and black woman, is learn how to unify each other and learn our history and teach our youngins. Because these young folks out here they out of control. And we can't ignore them for being out of control. And the reason why they're out of control is because they see the bullshit that we do to each other. If we ain't holding ourselves accountable, they ain't gonna hold themselves accountable. And they gonna start doing sucker shit. Because basically all they're doing is raising themselves. They're raising themselves off the stupidity that we basically promote and provide in society. On one ear, the black women saying they don't need a man. On another ear, the black men say he don't need a woman. So these young folks hear that shit, they already know. They don't give a fuck. So why should I give a fuck? But like my brother, comedian Jeff Brown said, when black women learn how to give the white man all his paraphernalia back, ask for his black man, ask for his black man back, ask for their black man back, our communities will be way better than it's ever been. But it's up to you, black woman, if you want a black man in your life again. So, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Shout out to you guys that are watching. I don't know who are watching. You know what I'm saying? I know I see some folks on my live showing, you know, but I can't see your names or whatever the case may be. But whoever's out there, show some likes or whatever the case may be, you know, shit. Subscribe to my channel, DJ Chaos, the Mix Master at YouTube. You know what I'm saying? You know, shout out to my peoples on Facebook, you know what I'm saying? You know, follow me on, or, you know, subscribe. I mean, not subscribe, but friend me on Halo Jones. Some of y'all on my Maurice V. King senior page and Maurice King's page, but I usually do on my podcast on Facebook off of my Halo Jones page. I guess you say, who the fuck is Halo Jones? That's just a name that I came up with. But anyway, shout out to Lisa Pam. Much love. I see you up in the comments once again. You know what I'm saying? As always, I know you say you've been up under the weather lately. Hope you feel better. You know, I know this weather is really weird because one minute you're feeling good, next minute you're feeling bad because temperature's starting to change. Because we are in the fall, we're not in summer anymore, so everything is starting to be on a whole nother level now. And I can't stand cold. If anybody know me, I cannot stand cold. But anyway, in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up because I gotta feed myself. Man, I ain't ate nothing since this morning. I know I'm losing my motherfucking mind. I ain't been doing nothing but drinking water, and I think I ate some watermelon. So I'm gonna go ahead and get myself something to eat and everything, and then I'm taking my butt to bed so I get on up here to Kansas. But much love and respect to you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and run us up out of here with some videos, and we're gonna get out of here. It's your boy Chaos. Y'all have a good night. Holler at you later.
Please and thank you. For those of you who open your mouth and you think you know what you're talking about because you have your master's degree. Ooh. You don't understand the psychology. You have your master's degree. That's why his name is first and above your name on that piece of paper. Because that means you have successfully been indoctrinated into his way of thinking. That's why psychology is a prerequisite in most of your curriculum classes. Because I need to make sure before this Negro gets access to this area, he needs to put my mind in his head and remove his own. So he ain't gonna think for himself before I put my name and stamp him as an approved Negro who is now a worker and not a thinker. Shout out to John D. Rockefeller. So the pre-existing conditions, one of those being a heavily diabetic circumstance which is affecting the black community at a high rate because of our diet. Number one is a problem, and if we take these shots, the likelihood of it helping to bring our children and us into a more negative condition is very high.
So I want y'all to know this. One of the things that I have realized ever since I'm about to give y'all a whole list of what's happening to people. And I want y'all to know the biggest lies we was ever told was that we was all one. We are not all one. I want y'all to know by me being a spiritual teacher or a spiritual leader, I come across people all the time that tell me they can't sun gaze or they can't get sun. I come across people all the time that can't sunbathe. They tell me all the stuff that I be saying that works for me don't work for them. And then it be having me thinking like, damn, how is that possible? And as I start getting further and further into my spiritual journey, I understand and understand we are all not one. Everybody has came here for a different purpose, and it is some people that's organic to the planet, and it is some people that's non-organic to the planet. And some of the people that's non-organic to the planet, they may be trying to grow spiritually. They may be affected by shit. They got generational curses. Their DNA is fucked up by their ancestors. The stuff that their ancestors put them through, the stuff, they not connected with nature. They have no connection with the planet. And it's not even their fault, and they don't even know, because they never took the time out to learn not only their history, but my history as well, and where I came from. You would have known if you went and did research on all of the history. You would have known everything. Research, knowledge. If you lack knowledge, you would die in this age. This is the end, y'all. If you have no knowledge, you would die. Most of these bots is just out here worshiping us. These fucking bots, fuck them. They're gonna die. They don't, bro, it's a split. It's a complete split on the planet. Nature is taking back over. No matter what they try to connect nature with, oh, it's a food shortage because of the war. No, it's nature. I'm about to give y'all a list of some things that I have came across in people. It's like a pattern. I've talked to about 15 people one-on-one in the past 2-3 days. This is a pattern of stuff that they have been saying is happening to them. I put everything in one on the list. I want y'all to know, ever since I had a spiritual awakening, the sun has changed me. I have more knowledge now. I barely have to read. All I got to do is sit in the sun. I got downloads. I got new information. I know stuff that I never knew before. I got deep dreams and meditation. I'm seeing 2 suns. I can sun gaze anytime I want to, anytime during the day. I'm well connected with the nature. I'm well connected with the sun. I'm connected with the animals, everything. I have a serious connection with this planet. And I still feel like I'm not even from here. I want y'all to know this. Number one, a lot of people told me their plants are dying off. I've been talking about people planting their food and they telling me their plants are dying off. It's a cleansing process taking place. It's going to always be new nature, a birth of a new earth. It's a cleansing process taking place. A lot of grass in nature is dying regularly. It's a pole shift. Next thing you know, it's going to be way more colder in areas that it's never been cold at before. This is going to happen. It's a pole shift happening. There's so much stuff happening with the sun that's changing this planet. It's like Earth being fucked.